he's placing at the top right. Like he's playing he won the last season of A as a champ. So
Yeah.
not only is it remarkable that he's able to like mechanically just play so much and be so good, but also the motivation to keep playing and to keep going up against these players who have been top dogs for such a long time, and it's a bit, it's fresh. And Piglet's not a player we see playing weeklies or tournaments, is he? He just, you know, plays on Korea, then rocks up and smashes out the brackets.
Yeah, he's literally like a ladder hero. he just ladders, rocks up, and takes the wins. He's like the anti-Seether. It's crazy.
He is indeed, man. But yes, yeah, I was trying to make it a bit better than ladder hero, but that's what he is indeed. So we jump in. I don't know if this is game number 2 or 3, like.
Oh, we just got notified barely in time, mate. We're tied up 1-1.
So this is going to be an... Oh wait, this is a best of 5, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Whoa. No, it's a best of 3, like, because they're 1-1.
This is what I signed up for. Oh boy.
I'm glad.
Oh my god. What is this? What is this?
Sorry,
Chase?
I forgot to change his decal back, but spawning in the bottom left position. Representing himself, I believe. It is the Protoss player from Australia, currently tied 1-1 in the series. It is Pezz.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire ALE, we have the Australian Terran player himself. He is red, representing Opus V. It is Piglet. As we get into this, I would like to kindly ask you, Chase, could you turn yourself back up? Like you're a little bit...
Oh.
Yeah.
Right. Is this too much?
I feel
read 93. How's this?
Yeah, I feel like there's like a middle ground between what you were and what you are. That would be nice.
What's the middle between 185? I came here to cast, not to do math. I read 90.
I cast, I don't math. Okay, what are you talking about? That is good. That's good.
There's too many numbers at the bottom of the screen. But yes, here we have SCV Scout Probe. What is Pezz going to be looking? Let's say Probe Scout. Sorry,
Are you okay?
What is Pezz looking to do with this probe? You know, what's he wanting to identify the light? And what's going to be what Piglet trying to evade here?
Yeah, that's the thing, and that's like a little bit of a problem. Like, unfortunately, we are jumping in mid-series. Unfortunately, we didn't get to cast game 1 or game 2, so I'm sure there's a lot of mind games going on right now, like, depending on how the first 2 games went. So it is a little bit of a shame. If you're in the chat, and if you happen to have watched them, let us know. You know, give us a little bit of a summary of what happened there in the previous games. What I can say about the previous TVPs that we casted, Piglet, he for the most part has been kind of vying for the late game. That's kind of the player that we know and love, right? Like Piglet, he's been the kind of player to just chill out, stay at home, focus a lot on his bio production, be very tank and Widowmine light, and have insane control with Bio Ghost.
Yeah, definitely. Piglet, stylistically, he's one of those players that just excels as the game goes on, and it's one of those things too. Like we can tell he plays late game a lot. We've seen it a lot. He's good at it because he's had a lot of practice doing it. So that's one of the reasons, you know, he's a bit passive. Maybe he feels a bit confident later on, even versus Disruptors, as we saw against Zane. But Pezz himself is no slouch when it comes to the late game. He's a very strong player, been around the scene for a long time, and now that he's been playing Terran, he has a really good understanding of this matchup from both sides.
True, very true, very important to bear in mind. The also thing that I wanted to add as well is that, to me, Pezz is also a little bit of an enigma, just because of what you said. He has been playing a lot of Terran. He has been off-racing a lot. I don't know if he's been keeping up with the meta, with Protoss. I don't know how well practiced he is. So, like, I don't know what to expect as much from Pezz either, as he opens up with the Stargate.
Yeah, Stargate, and we have a Phoenix too, like, and just kind of judging off the opening build orders. Phoenix is a pretty safe bet, but this Reaper's actually going to come in, scout the Stargate, and if Piglet's looking, he should know it's a Phoenix coming out too, and maybe that will divert his going for a Viking, actually. Not sure if he cancelled the medevac there, but a little bit different to, you know, normally you see a medevac drop in this matchup, but instead this mine's going to be defending the main base.
Oh, exactly. The mine is hidden behind the gas geyser. Luckily for Pezz, the Phoenix just went over the production, didn't quite go near the mineral line, so Pezz is safe for the time being. But as you said, Piglet, with a pretty crucial scout, is preparing back at home. You know, we have all the anti-air. We have Widow Mines, Vikings, and even Cyclones.
We do indeed, and we see Pezz. He's kind of, after getting
Oh!
kind of, taking a hit there. Oh, gets a bit greedy and loses the Phoenix there. A bit risky by Pezz and does not pay off. But yeah, not what you want to have happening this early on when you've only got 2 Phoenix. You know, they scale very well, and that's one of those Phoenix that's going to scale.
It's one of it's one of those things where they scale well the more they are, and now there's one less. So
Quick math.
So a great start here from Piglet, not just scouting but also responding and finding success in his response here. And now Pezz has to back off a little bit. We see a 3rd base on the way. We also see a stop in Phoenix production. He has only gotten 2 in total, and then he's backed off.
Yeah, totally. I really like this kind of deviation from Pezz. Once he's scouted, he's kind of using the information his opponent gets, which is normally beneficial, to just kind of like fool him a little bit here. As we see a full transition to ground, you got the +1 upgrade for the ground. Good scan by Piglet, sees that the 4th gas is not taken at the natural, and he sees probes transferring towards a 3rd, so he might be able to know if Pezz has a 3rd base. But very good move by Pezz, and we'll have to see what Piglet chooses to do here with his very anti-air kind of tailored army.
Yeah, exactly. As Piglet is working on his 3rd base, he also hasn't stopped tank production, which I feel like is going to benefit him, right? Like, usually the threat of Mass Phoenix is that they can CC your tanks, you know, they can slow you down and really neuter your army as it pushes out across the map. But with only 2 Phoenixes, like, you know, this army is looking pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind, however, like, there's only 2 Phoenix, but there's also 2 tanks, and
True.
Even though they're not going to be able to, I guess, get the most done, he can lift those tanks up. So Pezz, he does have a purpose to these air units. It's not just kind of cutting his losses and transitioning, but we'll have to see how Piglet, because his army, it's a strong army, but it requires quite a bit of control. And as we see, he secures his 3rd base. I'm not sure if he's even going to like move out here, like, and Pezz might just secure a 4th, as we see. Yeah, he's going to now.
Oh yeah, he is on the way. Piglet, he's still waiting on his upgrades. They are still a ways away. Stim, combat shields, +1. All this was kind of delayed because of the deviation of his production to deal with the initial Stargate units. So again, I'm sure things are a little bit delayed here, and we'll see how things progress. We'll see if Piglet even wants to hit with any kind of timing, because we were talking about it before. You know, Piglet, he can be known to be one to just turtle, even in this matchup, to just turtle and just, you know, wait for a later game.
Yeah, that's right. And see, at this point, you'd think players would like correctly identify that and just be greedy. As we see this fast 4th base by Pezz, looking at his ground army, he's only got a couple sentries really, and he's got a Colossus on the way, 2 Colossus actually to be exact. But Piglet kind of does have a timing, but just look at the vision from Pezz.
Yeah.
He's got Phoenix flying everywhere. Like they're grouping up now, but like if Piglet wants to move out, you know, his eyes everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. The Phoenixes, the Adepts, we even have a spotter gateway kind of sort of thing. You know, like, Pezz has eyes all over the map, and we see he's rounding out his army as well. We have double robot production, Robotics Bay as well to go into those Colossus, eventually Disruptors. So yeah, like, we're kind of just chilling back here for a while, but Piglet is going for his signature move, and that is those Ghosts.
Yeah, this kind of like sets the stage for the rest of the game. Piglet, he's going to be turtling. He's got his mines up. He's got tanks, and I really like how Pezz has kind of responded to this. Once he kind of knows that Piglet's not moving out, he's just kind of skipped the mid game as he catches this Cyclone at the top right, and he's just kind of grabbed the gases at his 4th base, and he's just going straight to the late game with a really good army, and honestly, like not having those gateway units that you need to defend any early game pushes, it allows him to invest into a stronger army here. So Pezz, I'd like to give a slight advantage to, but of course Piglet's engagements are wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where Pezz's, the way his spending, right, the way that he's been spending his resources has been very efficient, you know, teching up and working on high-tech units and not really wasting anything on a mass amount of gateways. The gateways are on the way now, but again, that's after all the teching. So very meticulous here by Pezz, very well done. He's getting away with all of this quote-unquote greed, and we are headed towards that late game. As you said, we'll see how the engagements are. Piglet's starting to move out a little bit here. I don't know if he's really going to commit to anything, but he does have his Ghost, and Hair Shockwaves is going to finish up quite soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he'll really commit here as he sets some tanks at home. It looks like he just might want to, you know, clear a bit of vision, make Pezz a little bit more scared.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Colossus in the field as we see a disruptor transition as we see, yep, going to secure his own 4th base. Small Zealot warp in by Pezz to scan spots the disruptors. And I think we're going to be in for the long haul here, like.
I think so as well, buddy. I think so. Thank you for joining me for this. Like, I gotta get the most out of Chase as I can, okay? And I love this as well. We have another starport on the way, so we're gonna have double starport production. I'm kind of a mixed mind of whether I want to see a commitment into the Vikings or a switch into Liberators. I feel like there's a place for both. They both have kind of different roles. Maybe there is no wrong answer, but yeah, for now, just Vikings.
Yeah, I don't mind the Vikings actually, as he did scan and see the double robo. The Ghosts, I'm not. I know they're a great utility item all around, especially with EMP. But I feel like if he hasn't scanned any High Templar really with the Stargate into double robo style, maybe could have even delayed them a little longer. But Ghosts are just great units all around, so and you just feel comfortable having them. But I think we could see our first action of the game here. Pezz looks to hit this space, but a planetary is already finished.
Yeah, exactly. Both players are now maxed out. Pezz just waiting a little bit longer for his disruptors. First Nova goes off, but again, we already see Piglet pre-spreading, making sure he doesn't get too many. Oh god, make sure he doesn't connect.
Is indeed as these disruptors going off. Pezz throwing down preemptive force fields as he's out of disruptor balls actually, and it looks like Piglet's just happy to chill, just hold the concave, and Pezz's gonna back off a bit. But yeah, if I was Pezz, I'd really want to be securing the map as he's transitioning to air upgrades as well in that cyber core, and I think that this is definitely going to go to the late game. And if we look at Hardwire, it's a map of the two sides, right? The left side and the right side. You see Pezz is taking his left side already to mine that out quickly, and then he can just focus on battling for the right side of the map.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about, you know, what bases are taken, how the map is split, how the resources are gathered. As we do see Storm on the way here for Pezz, so he's looking to try and get every kind of form of AoE. At the same time, he's actually pushing deep into enemy territory here. Has to be careful not to get surrounded.
Yeah, indeed. Nice little flank set up here by Piglet. He's here on 3 sides, and yeah, Pezz want to back off here. Does not want to really engage into here as Piglet just lies in wait. Going to take out the rocks as well towards the south. A couple disruptors going off, but that's not the hits what you want to get when you're being surrounded like this.
Yeah, I wish I could zoom out more. I was like, oh god, I don't know if this is what we really want to be doing. Piglet is coming in from behind. He's getting ready for the EMPs.
And Pezz is in a horrible spot. Wonderful EMP going off. Disruptor shot misses. One more slight damage. But I think, this is a great engagement. But with that many Colossus slide, is the concave going to be enough? With the Vikings above it, might be.
Yeah, the Vikings are absolutely insane. Every single Colossus falls. And even though we had some half-decent Purification Novas, it wasn't enough to take down all of the Bio. Piglet comes out, I feel, trading a little bit ahead here. Resetting that Colossus count, but wasn't quite enough to keep going.
Yeah, no, I'd say he definitely traded. He still retained quite a few Ghosts and Vikings. Lost a lot of bio on the ground, but that's easy to replace. On the other side, Pezz, he lost all of his Colossus, and he basically just had a couple Disruptors and Stalkers running away. As we see, he's now trying to find an avenue to attack in here. He's got Zealots on the right side of the map, Zealots on the left, but Piglet, as we know, he just excels in this kind of situation, and I think Pezz needs to transition soon.
Yeah,
Piglet even move out like.
I'm a little bit afraid as both armies are kind of dancing with each other here. Another EMP connecting with the mass army. The Zealots actually converging with the rest of the forces of Pezz. Doesn't end up going for that run by. And I'm a little bit concerned because you were talking about it earlier. We saw +1 air attack, but we don't see a transition into those skies. I guess respecting the amount of Vikings, and yo, Pezz, he's going for it.
Yeah, kind of looking at what Pezz is doing, she's warping at mass gateways, and decent disruptor, he gets a couple ghosts as well, and this is kind of Zest-esque, and he's just like massing gateway units, and is he going to try to take this position? Like, I don't know if he can take it, to be honest.
Yeah, he's thinking about it. He's still here, kind of just testing the waters, rotating around, wanting to hit maybe the planetary, maybe one of the other bases, but the longer this goes on, more ghosts are on the way. We have an aggressive blink forward. He will deny that CC.
Yep, nice little cancel there. Meanwhile, there's a large force on the left-hand side of Vikings. Is he going
the flanking Vikings, let's go!
The High Templar could get picked off here, like, actually. They're quite close.
Oh my god, he's thinking about it.
I mean, there's no Colossus, right?
Yeah, why not? They're coming in!
The Vikings, they come in. Nice little flank here, but they can't really catch up with the rest of the army. It's a big hit goes off on the Vikings. One of the fire too, and I'm not sure. I think he's got a good concave light, but Pezz is going to actually be forced back.
Yeah, we saw like 3 consecutive solid Nova hits there on the army of Piglet. Pezz trading so well here. Vikings are never what you want to see on the ground. Like, they're just kind of useless supply here at the moment here for Piglet, and Pezz, he's forcing his way through.
Yeah, no, these Vikings horrible in this kind of situation. This is the charge lots as we see, and Pezz might just turn that advantage of all the Vikings surviving into a disadvantage as he just takes a decisive engagement and breaks his fortification.
Yeah, this is why I was really worried about the mass Viking production. I was kind of hoping we'll see, you know, a handful of Vikings and then Liberators. Liberators can be a little bit more versatile in their usage, right, against all of these ground armies. Like, we saw how many Vikings there were left over.
Yeah, and we see there's a bit more of a bioforce here, but even with EMPs and the disruptor we're going off, Ghost getting taken out, and I think Piglet's just overrun, and GG, Pezz takes the lead 2-1.
Mate,
series.
Pezz, a player who has been off-racing as Terran, is currently up in this series against the best Terran player in Australia.
You're not wrong. Yeah, sorry, Sheldon. He's not wrong.
I don't think Sheldon even thinks I'm wrong. What are you on about, man? He lost to Piglet,
hey, he's my
man.
friend, man. But yeah, kind of, we saw that engagement, the main one. He took out all the Colossus. He really had a good trade, but he was stuck with those Vikings. And Vikings, even though they do have that ground-to-ground assault role, they're not specialized. You know, they're general. They're better in the air, and I guess Pezz just took advantage of that. But it was a cute flank though. The slow Viking landed flank. Yeah.
It was cute.
That every day.
It was cute. It was cute. That's all we can say about that, mate. Oh god. But up until that point, you know, it was very back and forth. We saw Piglet win that first major engagement. Unfortunately, he didn't really have much momentum to keep going from there. You know, he just deflected the first attack, and then Pezz, I guess because of his superior base count, because of his economy, he was able to rebuild and just hit once again.
Indeed, as we hit the ready button and go into game number 4, my friend Light, spawning in the bottom right position of Berlingrad. This beautiful map is the purple Protoss player representing himself from Australia. Give it up for Pezz.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad ALE, we have the Australian Terran player representing Team OPSV, the most recent ANZ champion. It is Piglet. And Chase, I think now is a good time for you to explain to the people at home, what the hell is this?
Yeah, so that's Chappie.
Yep, that is not Pezz.
That is a lollipop in his mouth and some sunglasses. But yes, no, I edited that during the show match between Pezz and Chappie, but yeah, I have not yet changed it. But that's okay, because this is a show match between Pezz and Piglet. Chappie will be looming over, giving support to fellow clan member. But again, probe scout light.
Oh, he does go for that probe scout to make sure nothing crazy is going on. I don't blame him. You know, Piglet has shown us in the past that he is more than willing to proxy. It's not a common thing that he does, but, you know, he has been known to throw it out in a series every now and then.
Yeah, it's also just really annoying. You know, probes, they get bullied a lot. There's a reason. It's because they're very annoying. See the correlation. But yeah, and Pezz, he's gonna get the block here, and it's not a major thing getting pylon blocked. Piglet will want to throw down his command center, but as we see, drops it on the high ground, not gonna play the games. And it's just a small thing, but at this level, like, every little thing counts, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a really nice delay here on the CC. It will, you know, affect the economy in a minimal way, but any kind of way, as you were saying, does matter here. And we'll see how things will progress. I did also want to just elaborate a little bit here, because you're like, hey, it was a show match. For those who don't know, Chappie, who's this player here, did have a show match, I think a week ago now, with Pezz, a ZVT against Pezz's off-race, Terran. And Pezz showing us all that Terran, you know, can sometimes, in the hands of a good player, can be amazing. Aye.
Yeah. This is where I say something as about Zerg being weak, right? But then the whole bot, Piglet gets a probe. Piglet's gonna get away, most likely, and the Adept is gonna, you know, be empty-handed. I don't know if Adepts have hands, right? They got arms at the very least.
Yeah, they got hands. They got hands.
They got hands. Yeah. How do you know if you asked an Adept like?
You can see them. What are you talking about? They have hands.
What if those are tentacles?
What?
You never know.
What? What? What?
Okay,
do we want to talk about Twilight Chase? Is that what we want to do?
Really good preemptive positioning by Pezz actually to catch that that unit that has hands.
Reaper?
The Reaper, yes indeed. But it looks like Light, we're going to have a Widowmine Marine drop similar to the first build.
Yeah, so Piglet is doing more of the same, right? Going for that little bit of a drop, but Pezz went for a very fast Robo, mate. He went for a Robo opening, not a Twilight Council, not a Stargate, and Piglet has to scout this. He needs to see.
And he's going to see indeed that Reaper might even get away, probably won't get away. Oh, maybe actually, Light. What a win for Piglet. Well done there, son.
Oh,
but how is he going to respond? And also, how will Pezz respond to this being scouted?
Mate, Pezz is a chat. He's just going to keep going, right? He's going
to... he's being like... you expect your opponent to like not keep doing the same thing, but he is. And, even going to get a probe kill with this Reaper? Oh my word. Yeah, Reaper's playing very well.
Reaper gets back in. Oh, gets a second probe kill as well at the same time. Widowmine drop is still coming across the map. Piglet doesn't give a damn about that War Prism as the Reaper gets another kill. Oh my god, 3-4 kills on that one Reaper.
Yeah, that was almost really well timed there with the drop coming into the natural. Mine's going to go off. Pezz is not watching. Oh. Quite lucky.
Yeah, he is paying attention. He will be able to split off just barely in time. At the same time, we do have Adepts across the map, but there are Marines to stop him. But we also have a War Prism in the main.
A War Prism in the main indeed. There's action all over the map. We got mines in the mains of both bases of Pezz, and we got gateway units in both bases of Piglet. And whose crisis management is going to be better like?
Oh, that's the big question here as Piglet is losing a lot of these SCVs. Eventually, Piglet will be able to force all of this back. He does have this Viking. He will be able to shut down this War Prism, forces the recall. And after all said and done, you have to take a little bit of a step back and, you know, who really came out ahead as we have another Widowmine. Oh my god, it's coming back in!
It is indeed. Pezz is watching. And actually, this is not bad. Just buying some time. Well micro by Pezz there. But look at the worker count. Like, even though, like Pezz has killed 15 workers. That's mad. And there's only 2 CC here for Piglet.
Yeah. I want to apologize to everyone because we didn't actually catch that there is no WCS game heart for this game. Otherwise, we would have asked the players to remake. So I do apologize because of that. We do have to manually count. I know it's horrible. It's feels bad, man.
That's okay. We got action on the screen as we see this War Prism. It looks like it's going to be loading up to do some harassment right as Piglet's moving out, and we have Pezz taking a third base. This double tank push could do quite some damage because sentries, they're good at defending, but force fields don't help their siege tanks.
I feel like we need like maybe some hallucinations to try and trick Piglet right now because Pezz, this is his army. 2 Stalkers and 3 Sentries. Colossus is on the way, but it basically just started. Like, it's not going to be ready for this, and Pezz is forced to cancel his third.
Yeah, no, I mean, you just like hallucinate some probes and let Piglet kill some and go home being happy, but no, Piglet just going to check, cancel a third, and normally that's a pretty decent move, but we have to say the third base of Piglet is also not started, so good move, but it's not the biggest end of the world here for Pezz as he brings in this single zealot.
Yeah, the slow lots are coming in once again, waddling around, trying to do whatever they can, which is nothing, as Piglet is here in position, able to force this back. But, like, this is kind of a win here for Pezz, because Pezz wants room to expand, because we all know, even he knows that he can't really fight this army. Like, he needs room to expand.
Yeah, definitely, and I like this build, this follow-up by Piglet, because this map, Berlingrad, one of the smallest in the pool, we see Pezz taking this forward position. It looks like he's not really defending anything as Piglet pushes here, but he knows it's a tank-based army. He's got the Colossus, and yeah, he just wants to force the siege to buy time. So yeah, good moves here by Pezz, and Piglet, he'll want to get forward as soon as possible.
Exactly. Pezz even rotating over to the other side here at the second choke point, reading quite well because he does have eyes on the army to try and force another siege. And in the middle of this defense, Pezz is going for that War Prism, sneaking into the main base of Piglet.
In the main indeed, and there's no spotter depot or turret, and he's just gonna get right in here. There's not even a turret in the main mineral line, and Piglet's in such an awkward position. Pezz is gonna jump on these tanks while he's distracted.
He's on siege, puppy! He will be able to get one of these tanks at the same time. Another slow zealot drop. One day he'll get charged. There we go. Charge is now on the way.
Yeah, really good moves there by Pezz, not only to kind of like distract Piglet and force him home, but also to isolate the tanks which were still sieged, as an observer does get sniped thanks to that scan. But with 2 Colossus now, and Thermal Lance who had to finish up, this push is already looking a bit weaker.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Piglet had such a dominant force 2 minutes ago. But over time, Pezz has been able to buy that time, getting more Colossus, getting his upgrades, you know, charge. Like, it's actually on the horizon. It's about to finish up. Same with the rest of these gateways. So Pezz is actually going to have a decent army.
He will indeed, as we see these little choke points that Pezz is he's mirroring Piglet's army. He's kind of holding the chokes because he has those force fields at his dispenser, the word, I'm not sure, but
yeah.
Finally this Warp Prism should get cleaned up unless it gets recalled for a third time.
I'm shocked by the amount of damage and the amount of time that Slow Lords have bought Pezz.
I feel like one at a time, right?
Yeah, it's only been like 1 or 2 Slow Lords, and Piglet every single time brings everything back home. He is terrified of the Warp Prism, and because of that, you know, again, like, maybe something happened to him in game 1, maybe something happening in game 2, you know, a little bit of PTSD, a little bit of scarring. Pezz kind of winning the mental battle.
Yeah, and speaking of mental battle here, we've got a battle of wits. Pezz wants to, he's gonna drop the Guardian Shield, which is, yeah, gonna force the siege from Piglet, but with another Colossus joining, that's 4 now. Look how many Marines are in this army, like.
Yeah. God, that's a lot of Marines. Looking at the units tab, 30 Marines in total, but with 4 Colossus, who the hell gives a damn? But Piglet, he's actually rotating around. He's finally looking to, oh god, he cannot get past the halfway mark. Pezz is always there to meet him.
Yeah, he can't. I'd like to see him take out these destructible kind of debris in the middle of the map, open up the channels a bit more, but also maybe push from a more wider angle that Pezz can't really cover properly, and it looks like he's got much of an advantage here. Gets the siege, and Pezz, it's looking better for Piglet, and that's a lot of buy.
Oh, yeah, exactly. He's already pre-sieged. Pezz cannot push into this, not yet. He has to wait for the unsiege, and now oh, there's an opportunity, but he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, and speaking of opportunities here, we have to say Piglet didn't really kind of, you know, he hasn't really bolstered his tank count. He's making a tank now, but he's still only got the count of 2. But he's now got Ghosts, and again, I guess the Ghosts are good versus Sentries, they're good versus Charge-Offs actually, but yeah, I would have thought more tanks would have been more useful in this situation as this position here by Piglet. Yeah, this is juicy. Yeah,
at the same time, Warp Prism gets into the main base once again, and this time, there are no slow lots. These are charge lots here in the main, but it's still only 2. So only 2 are harassing across the map. Again, buying Pezz a little bit of time. Piglet, he's still here. He's trying to push himself up this ramp.
There's engagement, and he's got this choke point that can't be opened up with those minerals right by where the tanks are, and Pezz losing a bit of army control. Meanwhile, the Warp Prism in the main does get cleaned up, and now it's starting to look like Pezz, you know, he's lost his kind of middle ground advantage. These tanks are pinning him back, and he's got nowhere to go. He can't keep backing off.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? Here come the disruptors. The first disruptor is already out. Second is on the way. We're gonna have shield battery. We're gonna have overcharge. It's still gonna be all about that engagement and how good that Nova is.
Yeah, now Piglet, he's inching
up
towards the top.
He's going in.
Is indeed disruptor shots going off, and just look at the CranKy from Piglet. Even Vikings coming in for the Colossus, and I think he's just gonna steamroll this army. Like Pezz is just not gonna be able to hold.
There's just not enough here. The second disruptor comes out, but it's a little bit too late. GG gets called, and Piglet will be able to take game number 4 and take it all the way to the ace match.
Do you know what this means, Light?
What does it mean?
It means we have an ace match, even though you just said it. But yes,
thanks for jumping on, Chase. I really appreciate it, buddy.
But yeah, exciting. I'm not sure what the map's gonna be, but you know, 2-2. These players are very evenly matched, and that game, even though he did get slowed down a bit, Piglet, his push you know, got bigger and bigger and bigger, and eventually he just overran.
Oof. Exactly. He was just able to overrun. Like, props to Pezz for buying so much time. Like, he was doing such a good job at dancing with the army in the middle of the map, but there was one misstep where he got a little bit too out of position, moved himself a little bit too far north, and then Piglet got past that halfway point, and then there was nothing stopping him from just continuing on. So yeah, that was a that was a very interesting kind of dance between our 2 players that we saw for quite some time, and now it's all going to culminate on Blackburn.
Blackburn. As we know, Piglet's had quite a history on this map, hasn't he, like in PvT? Even playing versus Zane against it earlier today, so we'll have to see. Like, this map, very easy to split. I feel like it comes in Piglet's favor, but don't count Pezz out because he is a very good player. He knows the matchup very well now, playing both Terran and Protoss. And I think we're in for a cracker of a match.
Oh, mate, we are in for a cracker. We're in for a banger, mate. Game 5. What more could we ask for between these two players going all the way to the final game of the qualifying match?
Gonna ask for a draw and have it happen all over again. Here we go,
No.
like, spawning in the bottom left position. It is the purple Protoss. He is against his opponent, tied 2-2, representing himself from Australia. Give your energy to Pezz. And Chappie.
And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have the Australian Terran player himself, the most recent ANZ champ, representing Opus V. It is Piglet.
Good job, Light. You did well. You're a good backup co-cast.
Oh, thank you so much, Chase. Thank you so much.
Pezz not dodging the slow zone. You know what that means,
the mental loss? Is he?
It means he's gonna get there slightly slower.
Is it over?
I think it could be. I'm gonna say Piglet takes this one now.
Oh my god.
But you see, like Pezz, he's got a reputation right for just a really annoying probe micro. Especially like against Zergs as well, just being like all the harassing and it's something that even though it's not a major thing, it's at the back of your mind, right? And he's gonna come back in here again and maybe he's gonna try to block this natural expansion. But looking at the wall off we got from Pezz here, like it's a low ground wall.
It is a low ground wall, and just quickly touching on what you were talking about, like that's another kind of dynamic that we have in our region, is that there's a lot of history between a lot of these players. They know each other, they've played against each other for years now at this point. And that's just like another layer that goes into a series between these two, you know, like there is that history, there is that kind of lore, and that's like, you know, that's also another thing why I love this region so much, why I love StarCraft. You know, StarCraft, it's been around for a long time, Chase. and we are an esport that gets to have that.
Yeah, as you see the natural being scouted by Pezz. StarCraft, it's one of those esports where not only is it like, you know, super kind of like top level, like you can also express yourself. There is a meta, but you can play outside the meta. There's a bunch of different builds, and as we see, players as diverse as Piglet and Pezz, like they've got two different, very distinct styles.
Yeah.
And when you play in a small scene, like you get to know each other. You get like good against each other. You know, there's some exciting matches that happen. So I agree with you. Like the fact StarCraft's been out for so long, matches are still diverse. Balance patches also help keep the game fresh. It's just a joy to watch from a spectator viewpoint and a neutral.
Definitely. So I feel again really lucky to be here with you, Chase. I feel so. Oh my god.
I know you do.
And we'll see how we go, as once again Piglet is going for a pretty similar opener, setting himself up for a bit of a Widowmine drop, but at the same time Pezz, he's sharking around, commits to the shade, and going to be denying a lot of mining time.
Yeah, denying mining time indeed. These adepts being super annoying. There's not enough units in the bunker to kind of deal with them as this Reaper comes across the map. Might even get a probe or two. Good work by Piglet, but we got Blink coming up from Pezz, and this is the name of the game, right? Is it going to be a Blink all-in light, or is it going to be just a Blink a Blink pressure? And not only is it the name of the game for us, but for Piglet, and how will he respond to seeing Blink on the way?
Exactly. I mean, first off, props to Piglet for actually getting the full scout off here with his Reaper, despite the Stalker being at home. So very well done. It's really hard to read early on just because, like, unfortunately, Piglet doesn't see the massive amount of, or how many gateways are going to be thrown down behind this. So he has to prepare himself back at home. At least, again, he rules out the possibility of a Stargate. He can be that much more aggressive with these Widowmines and even get a follow-up scout.
Yeah, he will indeed. As his adepts getting denied. Good work by Piglet. Piglet's been very good with his awareness in this game, as this series, especially from what we've seen. But we see as this medevac comes across, there is a spotter pylon by Pezz on the way. It should be able to spot this medevac really well timed by Pezz actually, and the Stalker's coming in the main. I'm not too sure with the slow zone, especially how Piglet's going to go with these drops, but It's possible.
Yeah, he's gonna try and sneak his way through. He will boost, but at the same time, the 3 Stalkers are here trying to focus down the Medivacs as best he can. The Widowmines, they drop!
Yeah, one line dropping. Good pull from Pezz. Meanwhile, the second one dropping at that natural. Pezz is watching though, and just some mining time being lost, which is good, but no major damage.
Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention to the main base because I didn't think there would be a good connection, but 5 probes went down? What?
Yeah, and it looks like Pezz, he pulled his probes back too early, and I don't know if Piglet was just spam clicking to keep it from going off, but that was quite well done, or a mistake for Pezz.
Yeah, I should have taken note of it because I don't know if you realized, but at the natural, like, his medevac was kind of left idle, and same with the Widowmine, they were just kind of chilling there, and I imagine that's because Piglet was retargeting that Widowmine, so very well done there by Piglet, able to make some magic happen. Despite Pezz looking to be prepared for the drop, he still lost a lot of probes.
Yeah, and fortunately it wasn't a huge amount of probes. It's still a winnable situation. PvT still a winnable, but it's quite annoying. This medevac too is going to force some attention from Pezz. Maybe not as much required as the health is quite low and you can't recall medevacs, but still a little bit annoying as Pezz. He'd like to have his Stalkers on the front with their blink to pick away any move outs by Piglet.
Definitely. Yeah, Pezz has to be a little bit careful about his all-army hockey. Yes, make sure that these Stalkers are here in position, and he never gives Piglet an opportunity to go for that drop. Meanwhile, we do see that it wasn't any kind of blink all-in. We do see a transition as Zealot Charge is on the way here for Pezz, as well as quite a bit of a gateway explosion.
Yeah, it looks like Piglet's gonna move out, try and secure maybe his third base here with the tank. Pezz is keeping tabs on things, but if you look at the supply, it's quite a large difference for Piglet. As we see these Stalkers, there's not a lot of them to really kind of slow this push down despite Stim not yet being finished. And even though the worker count's even light, like Piglet's got mules. Yeah, he's looked like he's in a great position this game, actually.
Exactly, and I'm a little bit worried because Piglet was in the middle of taking his third base, but Adepts denied him, and they're kind of forcing him to be this aggressive. You know, he's pushing out across the map. What does Pezz really have to defend? He skipped out on Colossus, he skipped out on Disruptors, he's relying on Storm. And I say Storm, he doesn't have Storm. He has High Templar though, I guess.
Yeah, he's kind of relying, and Piglet's been quite smart. This map is a bit choky. Pushing in, however, you can expose yourself. Zealot flanks coming from different sides, but tanks kind of flip that on the edge, and it turns your offensive your defensive advantage into an offensive one. As we see the Raven going to get a couple probes too going down. Might drop another turret as well. Not quite, no, but
I thought it was gonna free this probe from its eternal solitude, as that probe is stuck.
Oh, it's stuck. Probe is stuck.
Feels bad, man. Meanwhile, the Raven will meet up with that Widowmine in that drop, as they're kind of stuck here in the dead space. At the same time, Piglet is setting himself up to hit this third.
Yeah, and it's actually a wonderful position. I like the tank and the Widowmine as well, and Pezz gonna get shelled from above. How is he gonna deal with this? He's got charge, but his army, it looks kind of small, like.
Yeah, it does. He's going to try and go up, but a Widowmine shot goes off on the majority of the Zealots. Every single Zealot goes down, and Piglet, he's just chasing down everything that's left.
Yeah, he is indeed. The mobility from the bio. He's going to back off for a moment just to rest and recuperate. And he's going to drop a mine at the third. Is Pezz watching? Yes, he is.
He is watching. Here he comes once again. The Widowmine shot does go off, only getting a single one of those probes. Piglet, he backs off for now. But again, I feel like there was maybe an opportunity here for keep on going. And, he backs off.
Yeah, no, quite strange for Piglet being quite passive, just choosing to kind of secure his third base. Not the right decision, I'd say, but in a situation like this, you can't really blame him. You know, his drop only got like 5 probes. He might not want to overextend it, and he can just play from an advantage here. Does give Pezz the opportunity to get some splash to kind of like get back into the game, but it's looking good for Piglet. Like, it's looking very good for him.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think you may agree here in that if Piglet had stuck around, I think he probably could have broken the third. Like, his army was looking real good against what Pezz had. But now Pezz is given an opportunity to come back. I'm worried though because we still don't see any splash damage. Despite the Templar Archives, we still don't see Storm, we still don't see a Robotics Bay.
You know, quite strange play here by Pezz. He want to at least, if he doesn't get back in this game, he wants to start Storm, but we see upon scouting the Archons, we see Ghost production being kicked in and the Ghost EMP upgrade as well, and I've been a little a little skeptical of how quickly he's been going Ghost in this series so far, but I'd say this is absolutely the correct move as those Archons and the High Templar. It's the only way Pezz can get back in this game, and he's hard countering them with this Ghost units.
Yeah, man, he loves his ghosts. You know, what can I say? It's they are kind of his signature unit. Meanwhile, at the same time, Pezz will kind of outposition his opponent. We'll be able to get a free ghost there as it comes out, and we'll be able to deny this 4th base.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to pull back this army. It's quite small and brittle. There's a mine up here. He might actually run into it. Does get a medevac, which is nice, but Pezz, he's going to have to recall somehow, because this is a tight spot to be in, isn't it? Like,
yeah, he needs to get the hell out of here. He denies the 4th for a 2nd time, so even though he sticks around, he's going to be able to get a little bit more value, but he has to be careful. He cannot afford to lose this army.
Yeah, no, he cannot, and he can't really. I don't know if he can recall away. He's going to try recall a few units. Yeah, he's going to save all the most important, all the units actually, as we see. Going to push away that drop as well. And Pezz, he's still a bit down in supply, but he's got disruptors in the way. He's got a Dark Shrine finishing up. He could maybe do it, but Piglet's coming.
Oh yeah, he is coming. He did end up losing his drop across the map, but again, it wasn't the biggest of deals. Only had Marines within it. Meanwhile, a little bit of mispathing here. One Archon will also be picked off for free.
Archon was the hero, but no. But we see Pezz this time around. He's trying to secure this high ground, not give this position to Piglet. Really nice move by Pezz, but this army, like the mobility of it, it's not enough charge loss slide. And I think Pezz, this is the biggest problem right now.
Exactly, mate. As this 4th base is going to be cancelled, there we go. We do see the cancel, and it was so close to finishing up. I'm really worried just because if we look at the units tab, Pezz only has a single disruptor. I'm surprised he hasn't been producing any more. He has the income, like he has minerals and gas, but he only has 1. Now he has none.
Yeah, it's been sniped, and these ghosts are going to be dropping EMPs. Shields being returned. Super battery going to get sniped as well, but I think I just don't think there's enough here, despite there being DTs. And Zealots across the map. Ghosts are going to EMP and deal with that, and Pezz is going to fall. Piglet is going to take that ace match, and what a series it's been.
Yeah, exactly. DTs are doing some decent damage across the map, but the 3rd base is going to go down. The Bio Army is just far too good here, as Pezz is trying the best he can to try and dive on this, but he cannot. The Nexus does end up falling, and that harassment force across the map. Again, there's still only 2 DTs, and what can DTs? They can't do anything. They get taken out.
Yeah, no, we see now turrets going down, and Pezz, he's stuck on 2 base. He's got his 4th now, he's 3rd. He's got 2 disruptors, but I just think, no, it's not going to be enough. As he throws 1 more, and it gets sniped. And GG is called.
GG gets called. The ANZ champ does it. He powers through all the TVPs. He had 3 of them, and every single one went to the ace match, but just barely. He does it. He will be the 2nd player to qualify for the DreamHack Oceania closed qualifiers.
Congratulations to Piglet. You Guardians enter in the finals. Both players, regardless of the result, will be moving on. And Piglet, you gotta say, after best of 5 like that, or we only saw the last 3 games, I have to say quite well earned. Sticking to his style, what he knows best, and just outplaying Pezz, I have to say.
Yeah, that was that was really impressive. But I think what's important is that, again, it wasn't a one-sided series. You know, like Piglet, he could bleed. He was bleeding quite a bit throughout the entire day today. It wasn't an easy road, and that just goes to show how difficult these qualifiers are. You know, despite him maybe being on paper the favorite here in the entire qualifier, there are just so many other good players, and they're all vying for those spots.
Yeah, that's right. It was a 2-3, and Pezz, to be fair, he put up a really good fight considering how much Terran he's been playing lately as well. Unfortunately, like Piglet, like even though Pezz has been playing Terran, Piglet's got a very distinct style. It's not super meta, so he probably wouldn't have got the most out of the Terran experience as if he played a more standard player. But yeah, I'm sure Pezz will be back tomorrow to try and qualify again. But it looks like Piglet is just gonna eke it out for now.
Yeah. Congratulations to Piglet. Really well played. I know, again, we did have our eyes on him from the beginning, and it's great to see him through. And to be fair, I'm sure a lot of the other players are really glad he's through. You know, they're like, oh, thank God he's not going to be there tomorrow, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, God. He can be scary. He can be scary. And that's the other important thing to take note of, is that Ender and Piglet make it through today. All these players have another chance tomorrow.
That's right. It's a 2-day qualifier. So these players, if you're sad your favorite player got knocked out, don't worry. They will most likely be back, unless they tilt to high heaven and don't sign up. But everyone will sign up. We are a tilt-free region here, but like, yeah, I'm like if this is the quality games, like we've seen players like Starduck as well and Pezz. I feel like tomorrow's gonna have some more like bangers of games because it is a 2-day qualifier and there are those spots open up and those players will still be hungry. They'll not say last chance and they'll be going hard.
Exactly, they're gonna be going so hard. And tomorrow, I'm gonna say it now. We didn't get to cast an XZ today because I'll be honest, we didn't expect much from him. We were like, oh, it's cool that he's back, but you know, is he really gonna take down Peppy? Nah, we'll go for someone else. Tomorrow, I think we probably will focus on NXZ. You know, I'm sure he'll be there alongside everyone else, and I want to see what his form is like. You know, I want to bear witness to the return of NXZ.
You're not the only one. I also wish to bear witness to NXZ beating Peppy and Azul, and also Peppy and Azul will be in the next series as well. It's gonna be very. There's a lot of good players like still in the scene, especially at this point. Like I didn't expect to see NXZ sign up. I wasn't sure Peppy was gonna sign up either, but it's going to be some really tight games, and not everyone's gonna be able to qualify. So they're going to be playing their best and some close series for sure.
Definitely. Also, shout out to your cat there. It's amazing. Is that Bear?
Yes. Yeah. He's been sleeping on my computer desk lately. Haven't shown on my computer because it's warm. So he wants to go sit on the computer, but
he wanted to watch the games, mate. You know, I don't blame him. I mean,
he does. No, he's a good cat. He's a big fan of StarCraft. Sometimes watches me, but yeah, sorry.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. We can never be angry at a cat on stream, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, he wants to sit on the mouse pad. But the main story, the main event, like Ender versus Piglet. Get ready. I miss. It's so good to see Ender back because he's like me and Mike. He's got such a distinct style. And it's really cool seeing how players, they adapt their own strategies to what he does, because it's not super crazy. He's a bit more macro orientated than say Mia Micah, for example, but he's still a wild card of a player, isn't he?
Definitely. I can't wait to see him in those closed qualifiers. You know, Ender, he's an amazing player to watch, especially as a Zerg player. You know, just like many players, he just has his own style. He has his own kind of flavor to things. God, Starduck was fighting so well against Ender, not gonna lie. Like, he was doing so well, but just barely couldn't cut it in the end. So yeah, I hope everyone who's watching in the chat, everyone is able to return tomorrow, you know, for more Oceanic StarCraft. There are plenty of players. We're going to try and feature others tomorrow as well, whether it's Oreo, NXZ, Starduck, Pezz, Azure, Quantel. Quantel popped up today as well. Justice Simon came back. He's been gone for like a year, and he popped up out of nowhere. It was crazy. So yeah, I'll be there. I'll be joined by Yaku again, and maybe even Chase as well. I don't know if you're going to be free tomorrow. I do know that you are working. So
I will need to get a proper microphone because I'm just using my headset microphone at the moment, but I will get on that. Hopefully, if you guys need a backup again. Again, shout out to Yaku. He covered a lot of games when he wasn't feeling well. And also Light. He casted a lot of games despite being the B caster. But the main event here, the main event caster, I mean. Yes.
Thank you so much, Chase, for hopping on with such short notice as well. You know, we can always rely upon you. Thank you so much, Chase. Thank you so much.
Yes. I know you always look forward to casting with me, like my insights.
Yo, earlier I was so tempted to talk about Twilight. Not gonna lie, I was when I was like,
probably should.
When I was like, my heart is bleeding, man. It's just like the first time I watched Twilight. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's
oh
true.
god.
I'll keep the Twilight to a minimum. Sparkling Tuna will be back. Team Edward, let's go.
Let's go, mate. What? Blast Jacob, mate. It's all.
Like, we're not getting save it for the Sparkling Tuna.
Ay. But yes, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. I hope everyone watching had a good time. And before we head out, I also want to say our next broadcast, we were going to cast DreamHack China, the second qualifier, as it is currently ongoing. But I was going to cast that with Yaku, and there's a whole process to getting the Chinese client working and all that stuff, so I guess we won't cast it today. We did cast the first qualifier, and we will be there for the Chinese closed qualifier over the weekend, but we won't be there tonight, which is, yeah, I do apologize for that. I know that there may have been some people waiting for that cast as well. It's all good.
So I guess we're not casting Ender vs Piglet? Is that being...
No, I told you, it's like top 2 qualify. They qualified. There's no seeding matches. No.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, okay.
God, that's what I said before.
Right? You made Bear scared. You don't like it when Light yells, do you?
Oh, God.
But yes, thank you guys for tuning in. Be back tomorrow. Light and Yaku, tune in. I certainly will, hopefully after work.
Yeah. If you want to tune in to more of the CranKy Ducklings, we are live throughout the week. We have been casting every single qualifier for every single region so far. We casted the Latin American ones, the North American, the European, the Taiwan, Hong Kong, the China, and now Oceanic ones. We are missing the second China qualifier that's going on now, unfortunately, so we're not 100% when it comes to hitting all these qualifiers, but we are close. We are the closest that anyone else is. And our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow morning. Specifically, it is going to be in 8 hours, in 9 hours. We are going to be casting a DreamHack Valencia Open Qualifier for Latin America, number 2. So that is going to be tomorrow morning. I'm going to be casting alongside Darking. So yeah, stick around for that. I know it's in the morning for Australia. I know it's not at the best time. I know people want to sleep in on Saturdays. I understand, but it's StarCraft, you know? Be there.
You raise a very good point, lad. It is indeed StarCraft. So if you can tune in, definitely tune in. Bear will tune in. He's getting some sleep so he can get up early in the morning. And Light, thank you very much for casting the entire qualifier. I had the easy job. Light has been there the whole time talking. It's been a 4-hour and 40-minute broadcast. So give him some love in the chat for sure.
Thank you. I want to apologize to you, Chase, for not getting a PvP for you. I apologize.
It was pretty sad. I should have had one made up. I'll try and get a microphone.
Yeah, I'll try and get a PvP for you next time. Don't worry. I got you.
Thank you. I'd love a PvP next time.
There you go. Oh god. With that, thank you so much everyone for watching. If you want to tune into more of Chase, aka Jackson Calvi, mate, where can people find more of you?
Doxed on stream.
That's your Twitter handle. What are you talking about?
You can find me on my Twitter handle, Jackson_Calvi. Done. Or in Twitch chat, just saying stuff on Chase_SC2. But yes. Light, where can you be found, my dear friend?
Oh, you can find me at Light_VIP on Twitch and Twitter. I do stream throughout the week, but my personal stream is on a hiatus because, again, we're focusing all of our efforts on the DreamHack casts, and it takes a lot of work. I've been sleeping I've been having 2-hour naps, you know, day after day, trying to stay up and cover everything. So you can follow me there if you want. I do stream, you know, ladder sessions and Final Fantasy 14 whenever I have free time. Just don't have free time at the moment. If you want to tune into more StarCraft, then check us out here on the CranKy Ducklings. We are live every single day, multiple times a day, sometimes 2, sometimes 3, sometimes 4. We've been very busy recently, very busy.
We have indeed, Light. It has been a very packed schedule with ANZ Champs coming up as well.
Yeah.
But CranKy Ducklings has always been delivering. Good on you guys.
Thank you. Oh boy, if you want some more StarCraft action, and if you can't wait for it to be on the CranKy Ducklings, the European qualifiers are starting in 2 hours as well, so you can stick around for EU if you want to. We have the option to, but I think we may just go to bed. I don't know if I have it in me to go for another round of Europe. So yeah, make sure you support StarCraft, DreamHack, you know, Valencia. It's an offline event. There's a lot going on. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you
Bye bye. Say bye, Bear. He's asleep.
there. Ciao.